Welcome to another episode of Turning Coal into Diamond. And today we have one of my really good friends, Taylor Crouse, here. And I'm really excited for this because we actually haven't gotten a chance to catch up in a long time, which is also funny because we both have moved several times. And I feel like each time we've moved, we've also lived within like
Super
a couple
close together.
miles of each other.
Yeah, super close.
And it's been so long. But introduce yourself, Taylor.
So what's up, everybody? I'm Taylor Crouse. I come from San Diego, California, a small town called Fallbrook. I am 28 years old, and I'm here today to hopefully share with you guys, just my journey and kind of what I've been through, because I think it's, I think a lot of people would say the journey is unique, but I think mine's really unique. I just feel like I've
That's
taken
the
on
LA mindset, though. We all think
right.
we're the most
True.
unique.
I guess I just feel like I've taken on a lot of challenges. Repeated challenges that almost no one I know has gone through, and the collection of those experiences, being 28 years old, I think can be very helpful for someone that may be struggling, or someone that may want more success, or
Yeah.
maybe be thinking or feeling certain things and ideas, but just not know if they're the right thoughts or right ideas, or really what to do. And so hopefully my story and kind of what I have been through, because I've been through a lot, as far as kind of
Yeah.
being an entrepreneur, and then just really just ups and downs of that, I'd say, from start to finish. And hopefully, I believe anyone listening to this will learn something, as far as, just whatever they're missing, because I was missing a lot for a long time. So, but it's this year, the last 6 to 8 months have been probably the most exponential growth I've seen in my life, and as far as abundance goes. And coming from our background, Gerard, the leadership trainings that we did, and abundance workshops, and just struggling for so long to create abundance,
Yeah.
and finally starting to create a good amount of it. It's just such a refreshing time in my life, and I feel like everything's finally starting to just work, and it's super great.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, man.
So where would you start? Because I definitely agree, and I would definitely like to add, even because I'm a tiny bit older than you, but you've definitely dealt with so much in different ways, whether it's business or even personal life, than I would say a lot of people deal with at
Mhm.
such a young age.
Yeah.
And so how do you think, where do you want to jump in? Where's your journey begin?
What part of the story? So for me, it definitely began in college. I grew up an only child, and joining a fraternity in college helped
Here
me.
we are. Only
Right?
child. Only
Hey,
child.
that's
Yay.
part of success. If you're not an only child,
I
but no,
wanted to be in a fraternity, but my school didn't have fraternities. We were a smaller
man,
school. I wanted to start one. I tried to start one too, but it's it was such a big, it's a big
it's a
deal to
huge
start one.
time commitment for you to get the least reward
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
founder. Yeah.
And I just really wanted to hang out with a lot of boys, to be honest, too.
Hey, that's okay. But yeah, so I joined a fraternity in college, and I grew so much, recreating myself from high school, because I grew up, shy, huge gamer, couldn't talk to girls very well. And then coming to college, I just decided, I wanted to be Mr. Popular. So joined a fraternity. I was in the dorms for 3 years in a school that was mostly commuter school. So looking back, my junior, senior year, probably one of the probably top, I don't know, 5% well-known people in the Greek system, or just on college, because I was just talking to everybody.
Yeah.
So, but in college, I started my first business in network marketing, company called Verve. I got a lot of shit for it from my fraternity and people that I knew, calling it a scam, a pyramid scheme, whatever. But after doing it for 2.5 years, I created a decent amount of success. But most importantly, I learned a lot of entrepreneurial skills, being reading personal development books. I went to a
Yeah.
lot of self-growth seminars.
Is there anything that stuck out with you from early on reading those books?
The main thing was it just opened my mind to what was possible. I went to school like a lot of people, to get good grades, hope to get a good
Mhm.
paying job, and I never thought past that. I'll never forget. I went to this job convention when I was, I think, a sophomore, on campus. I walked there down Beach Drive, and then just walked back and be like, wow, I could make $50,000 a year. It's like so much money.
Did you say
And
15 or 50?
50.
Okay, I was like,
And that
ooh,
just sounded like so much money to me.
yeah,
And I just remember just wearing my business casual, like suit and tie and stuff. And um, but how like nervous I felt about somebody hiring me, and that it was up to them. So starting the business and seeing people that at the time, were closely around my age, making maybe $10,000 a month, and I was like, what? Or like one guy making 40,000 a month. I'm like, people
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah, yeah,
blew me away.
for
And
sure.
it really just showed me like, and then even I don't know if you remember this. It was this guy Greg in WorldWorks, his wife Lindsay. I think her was her name. She was making like 400,000 a year doing real estate,
Yeah.
and I was like, what? I just knowing that was possible. I'm like, how could I ever just settle for 50
Mm-hmm.
grand a year?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean, I tried the entrepreneur thing with Verve, and I made a little bit of money, nothing crazy. But then as I was about to graduate with my engineering degree, which again I got to like hopefully make a good earnings at a
shit ton of
job.
money.
Well, for jobs people, yeah.
Yeah,
But then I became a financial advisor, and that whole story for 2.5
yeah,
years, and that was like the next level up, right? So I was working on building residual income, which is basically income that repeats itself once
yeah.
you create an ongoing product or sale. From there, learned a ton. Learned more about money, investing. Did that for about 2.5 years as well, coincidentally enough. But again, just went through. I'm not sure if you want to ask any questions along the way. Feel free to stop me.
Oh, for
Uh,
sure. Bro,
but
don't worry. I got my questions ready.
okay, good. But yeah, so then uh, I had a relationship at the time that I think I more held on to and stuck around with because I felt like I needed her in my life to
Yeah.
succeed. I didn't
Which
feel
is
like I was
really
good enough.
fun. I
Yeah.
was just gonna say it's really funny because I feel like me and you met through that relationship at the time, and me and you have
Right.
actually stayed in more contact over the
Basically
years.
everyone that happened. Yeah, it's true. But I'm super grateful. Obviously, we got to do
Yeah, of
that.
course.
World works in mysterious ways. But yeah, so from there again, didn't think I was good enough to succeed on my own without her. We did decently well in the business. Became senior partners
Why
within a
do you
year.
think that is though? Because I also feel like where does that come from? Or if you don't mind sharing, just because I
Yeah.
also around that time I also felt like you were very, like you said with the fraternity, you were very great talking to people. I felt like you were,
Right.
if I would
It's a,
say, the
it's a great question.
face of the business, if you will. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Um,
Yeah. I think the main thing, that's an excellent question, was a lot of my life. I played chess a lot growing up, and
yeah.
like a lot, and I was really good at it. And so I just kind of looked at a lot of things as my old coach would say, tactics.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, okay, so if A plus B equals C, well, I'll do A plus B.
Yeah.
But as a human, as a person, like my spirit and I think genuine feeling and like care, what was inauthentic, and it was more
Yeah.
just like I was going through the motions of what the actions were and the words were, but that inner genuineness was missing.
Mm.
It was a lot of act, a lot of performing, and I was really good at it,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
flourished.
yeah.
But it was very it was weird, because well, we'll get to that later. But uh, yeah, so like looking back on that time in my life, it's really what it was. It was, I felt like I needed her because she had a genuineness for people that
Ah,
I just
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
wasn't
true.
bringing forth.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that. You're
I was
definitely a
kind of,
little
yeah.
bit more like, but I think that's because I would, I always used to make fun of you just hugging people.
Is that not a good
Like
hugger?
I would say, you're such a lovely human being and I love you to death, but you're probably one of the worst huggers I've ever.
Really? That's funny. I got to work on that apparently. That's funny.
Oh my goodness. But that's also it's so funny looking at your face thinking about that. I've told you this before. This is not the
I know,
first
I know, I know.
time.
I'm thinking about like my hugs. I'm just like, man, maybe I got to like work on that.
It's just in the shoulders. You got to loosen it up, you know?
Yeah, right.
Just loose shoulders.
Um, but yeah, so uh, didn't feel like I was bringing forth authentic care and like again genuine feelings. And then as that whole relationship came to a screeching halt and breakup with a guy we worked with. And then, I was
And you
making some,
guys were engaged too, which is even crazier.
yeah. And then
That's
again,
why.
yeah, I was gonna say, and that's kind of like looking back, the moment it was over, it was so clear to me how much I actually didn't want that.
Yeah.
And it's wild how far I let myself go, or like was pressured subconsciously into that path, or again, really just didn't have the balls to break up with her. Because
Yeah.
it's not that I didn't love her. Like, I loved her as a person, but
Yeah.
from the beginning, it was never like what I really wanted. And that's like,
Yeah.
I think a big part of this is like, it's never what I really wanted. It was just like, it was fine. It was okay.
Yeah.
But that's it. And
One of the
then,
things that reminds me is I was talking to my I don't you do you know Lindsay Rose O'Neill?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, she's my coach, and we're talking about playing to win versus playing not to lose, and like how
Right.
I've done that. And I
Yeah,
feel like that's a really great example of where, and every like we all have examples in our life where instead of like playing to win, like going for what we want,
sure.
we play to like not lose, which is
Yeah,
kind of going with the flow, going with what's happening, you know?
exactly. And the main thing is, it's like there was no catalyst for us to break up. It was just,
Yeah,
it was like, okay, all of our friends were together, we had the business together. It was just almost like mentally so difficult to separate because of how together our lives were.
yeah,
And I think the best advice I could give someone to try to not do what I did, because I was blessed with a reason to break up with her, but it's like the main thing I do this a lot in my life now is like I think like, okay, 50 years from now, right, when I'm 80 or no, 80, no, wow, 78, can't do math quickly anymore.
78's a lot
Close enough,
different than 80, huh?
right? Yeah. Well, I was in 88, but yeah. 50 years from now, looking back on today,
Okay.
like if I'm 50 years from now looking back on today, will I be glad I'm doing what I'm doing now, or like what would I wished I would have done when I was that age?
Mm,
And that's a lot what guides my decisions. And so I think a lot of people that are comfortable, if they get to that age and they look back on where they're at now, and would they still choose what they're doing? And I think a lot of people, including myself, have been like, I feel like I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed
yeah,
that I didn't go for what I wanted because
yeah,
now I'm dead. So
yeah,
so
yeah,
you're bringing it full circle. Again, I was doing really well in the business even after we broke up financially, but I remember just like waking up after 1 month where I made about $10,000, and I was like super stoked for the money. But then I'm just like, I just don't want to keep doing this. Like, I don't
yeah,
want to keep wearing the suit and tie and going to the office
yeah,
2 3
yeah,
times a week. I don't know what to say. I just wasn't, again, authentically loving all aspects of what I was doing every day.
yeah, 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 yeah. I get that.
And I just had this wake up call of where I'm like, this is crazy because I thought for so long I wanted the money, and I wanted the time freedom to do what I wanted, but this is just not what I want my life to look like.
For sure.
And I wasn't, what's the word? Like pissed or fuck my life, but it was just, again, kind of like, I mean, this is okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
just
yeah.
really, am I excited to wake up and like do my day? Not really.
So what some people don't know, I mean, I've alluded to it and you kind of posted about it, but how did that, so you went from the financial world, you went from Verve, like what's
Yeah.
that, like an energy drink
Yeah.
type thing?
Health and
Yeah,
wellness
energy
energy drink. Yeah.
drink
Mhm.
to the financial world to solar, like solar panels
Right.
and
For
door
sure.
knocking. And it was so different. Like, and how did that idea come about? How did you jump on
Sure.
it? Because it is so different. And I actually done a little bit of door knocking in my past when I first moved to
Yeah.
LA.
Right.
And I was, of course, I think anybody could tell I'm pretty good at anything that involves me talking to people.
Sure.
And I also had a lot of stuff about being one, a black dude knocking on random people's doors
True.
and just like knocking in general, because I know how I've responded and how other people responded. How did
Right.
you go? How'd you deal with all that?
So, really what happened was, again, in that state that I was in, looking for something different, thankfully through our friend Mia,
Oh,
I
dope.
was introduced to my coach, John, and
Okay, John Gura, that's a
little
shout
John
out. He's
Guru.
actually roommates with Martins, who will be on. I'm not sure if this episode will be before
Oh,
or
cool.
after, but he's going to be on the May 6th episode.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. You definitely should
Shit.
tune in because he dropped some really, really big news on it. I was not even
Ooh,
expecting
Martins?
it. Yeah, Martins.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, oh, I got the inside scoop, y'all.
Oh,
Lil Gerard Cole up on Turning Coal into Diamonds got the inside scoop here.
yeah. Well, yeah. So once I met John, I mean, yeah, mad shout out to John if he ever watches this, because that dude, I mean, through working and coaching with him, I don't think anyone's ever had more of an independent impact on my life. And just like through his example and what I learned through that process, again, who I am today, I couldn't be like happier.
Yeah.
And the journey that I went on with him there is just truly incredible. So to explain, really, again, what I was after and what John showed me was like, hey, you really can create what you want through confidence, right?
Yeah.
And John had done door-to-door ADT sales for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was so impressed with that idea that this guy, apparently with no skills, had like taught himself something. But that whole premise of, I don't need a job. I don't need to like, I don't need anyone else's help but my own, like my own
Mm.
flesh, blood, mentality, belief, skill, whatever. I can
What's up,
feed myself.
Kendall?
Princess, hi, babe. Uh, but like I can go get it, right? I can go make as much money as I want on my own effort, and I don't need like, anybody else's help. And as a man, that was extremely attractive to me because, again, not many people can say that. Like, hey, I don't need jack shit, but like literally just me, and I can go make 20 grand a month knocking fucking doors.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was so attractive to me. And so I talked John into coaching me do it. He said he never done it before. So definitely wasn't a cheap coaching thing to do. But again, and when I started doing sales for, at that point, 5 years, I
Yeah,
thought I was going to be really good.
yeah,
And I went
yeah.
into it, and dude, I sucked. And I couldn't believe it. And it was so wildly funny yet scary at the time because I had, blown all my money in the transition from giving up my last income to then knocking doors. So I went from
Yeah,
making 10
yeah,
grand a
yeah.
month to making 2,000 a month, closing one deal, spending more than I was earning to live. Like I was going in the hole every month.
Yeah.
But one of the most important things I think about my whole mindset, and Ken will tell you this too, is like when I start something like that, I just don't stop.
Yeah, no, I
And
get that about you for
and
sure.
the main reason is it's not like a, oh, persist till succeed. It's like, well, really, I'm just not okay living with the reality that I didn't do it, that I just didn't
Yeah,
stick with it long enough
real
until I
talk.
did it.
Yeah,
And for door knocking, that was that because, again, I knew the person I would have to become, right?
yeah,
Being the person I would have to become to do well at door knocking would be like a charming, confident, um, positive, happy, just like such a powerful force and energy
yeah,
that, again, like, hey, if I can sell anybody anytime and it's for
yeah,
their benefit, the
yeah,
power,
yeah,
that
yeah,
eternal power that comes from that.
yeah,
And so I did, from a year and a half, the first few months, I made like one sale, two sales a month, struggling.
yeah,
And I recorded myself. John thankfully had me record myself in the mirror,
yeah.
seeing what I looked like. And dude, like watching some of those videos of just like how I talked and moved, I was awful. Uh, which is
That's what a
wild to
lot
say.
of us do as comedians and actors too, with like
Yeah.
self tapes and uh just a lot. I think there's a huge power in being able to see yourself and really do it
Completely.
from, I talked a little bit on the episode with Andrew, do it from a place that's objective. That's so
Yeah.
important. I think everything that I've learned and grown as a person is how to better myself by looking at myself,
Sure.
to grow and like just learn from the tits and bits and whatever that doesn't work, but
Yeah.
not judge myself and all that through it. You know what I
That's
mean?
really it. It's a process of refinement in the way that, Tom Brady watches
Oh my
more
goodness.
football
Yes.
tape than anybody else
We're
because
not really talking about him on this podcast right now as a
okay.
Patriots fan. So
Sure. But yeah, the point is like that really is I don't know, the process to get phenomenal at anything. It's like you do it, you record it, you watch it, then you figure out what you did wrong or what you could have done better in a setting that you're not in the actual thing doing it. You
yeah.
think about it. Again, I'm saying it again, you think about it, you reflect on it, then you change some things, then you try again. Like think of
Yeah.
all the baking recipes. How do they get the temperature right? They probably
Yeah.
tried it a bunch of different ways.
Completely.
And so door to door, again, I was refining how I was communicating and really refining myself, which
Hmm.
emotionally, dude, oh, it's hard. And
I
that's why a
get
lot of people
you.
don't make it.
I
And even
get
for
you.
me, like I would sometimes I'd record myself and listen to it later, and it was just like so cringy to listen to. And I'm like, dude, that's me
Dude,
though.
is that you? Yeah, is
Oh
that
fuck.
me? Yes, dude.
And yeah.
Trust me, I
And
know.
it got yeah.
I
And it
know.
got easier and easier as I kept doing it, and as I got better and I started like winning and succeeding and helping more people go solar, whatever.
Yeah,
So that's what I can say is it only gets easier. It was super hard in the beginning. But again, so through that process, just the confidence I developed, and main thing is too, I would say, imagine, well, I guess like you're a soccer, well, not you, right? Soccer player, right? You're Cristiano Ronaldo. Any
yeah.
soccer field you walk on, just the confidence you have is like how good you are. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just so powerful. And so for
Yeah.
me, walking out to like really any conversation now, like I had a conversation today that I for a client, but I'm not worried about it because I know I'm just gonna think of some good shit to say because I've been in that situation so
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
on the spot quickness, just like stand up comedy. Sometimes
Yeah,
there's a heckler in the
completely.
crowd and people are crush it.
Completely. We talked about it on one of my episodes,
Yeah.
actually.
So it's that quickness which I developed from doing door to door and just going through the fucking grind,
Yeah,
knowing that I'm like, you know what? Right now I'm a soldier. Internally, I think I'm a general, and that I shouldn't be out here in the fucking trenches doing linear work where it's just me one on one. Again, I'm not gonna make $1 million doing it one on one.
yeah,
I have to have a business or an organization, whatever. But like, this is how I like make myself great
for
to
sure.
then be the great general versus the general that's never actually been in the field.
Got it.
So yeah, I did that for about a year and a half to the point with John. This is kind of where it was kind of bummer how things ended with John, but I just felt like I got what I wanted out of it, which was the confidence that I could do it. Right, I could
Yeah,
knock doors if I need to. I made some great money doing it. The confidence I gained is priceless for me. Um, and then now I've kind of developed into like, hey, I've got a few people that I'm training and managing, a lot of referral sources, and kind of
yeah.
started this business that, um, yeah, but it wouldn't have been possible if I didn't go through the first stages of the confidence to be in the place that I am now. Um, yeah, so
So how did that lead into, because you're a man of just like many hats now too, which is really cool. That led into you like created or helped create, you were in the process of helping create a movie or
yeah,
producing a movie, I think.
yeah, yeah.
And then now you're either professional or semi-professional gamer as
This headset
well.
actually, I won a gaming tournament. So I'm wearing this headset.
There you go. So
Yeah,
like like that's what I think is so amazing too, because I feel like there is a level of, and I've talked about this on many episodes now, whereas I feel like you're a good example of kind of listening to the universe, on listening and what really consistency and kind of going through those cold moments and dealing with the pressure so that you could continue to create different diamonds
yeah,
along the way. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Because I feel like sometimes there is not a stigma, but like there's a putting your hand in different hats, and I definitely think that
Sure.
there's a really great um there's a great benefit in that sometimes.
Yeah, and there's a great lesson there too, and that's a really great question you asked me. I think really what it comes down to is, life's a journey, right? I'm understanding that more and more because 1,000 years from now, we'll all be dead. A lot of us will be forgotten. Most of us will be forgotten, if not all of us. And it's
Some
like,
of us are gonna not be forgotten, you know what I'm saying?
sure. Um, but the point being is that I got really good from door to door at like not giving a shit what other people think because
Yeah,
they're not thinking about me after that moment, or
real
like the
talk.
rest of their life. So it's my experience, not from like a selfish ego place of view, but it's like, again, at the end of the day, it's like, it's my journey, and what am I
Completely.
going to enjoy doing? What am I going to enjoy spending my time doing? And
Yes.
so, from leaving Transamerica when I wasn't enjoying doing that to then door knocking to even recently I thought I wanted to be a streamer, right? And like a video
I
game
thought you were
streamer.
gonna say strippers for a sec. I was like, wait,
That's
what?
next, actually. Stripper. But no,
Oh
like a
Jesus.
video game streamer, right? And so I streamed a little bit, and like that's what I think a big lesson in this whole conversation is like it's okay to start something thinking you might like it, thinking you might love it, and thinking you might
Yes.
want to be the best at it,
Yes.
and then realizing you actually don't.
Yeah.
Like, I heard a great quote one time. It's like, the greatest successes in life, everything has a price, right?
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing that can happen is getting to that place and realizing the price you paid was too high.
Ooh.
It wasn't worth the price. And
Yes.
so the streaming stuff, I'm actually getting tingles right now saying that. But like being a streamer, for example, it's like some of these guys that I'm a top 0.1% player in Apex Legends.
Oh,
That's
oh,
pretty fucking good.
really?
Yeah,
I
top
just started playing
0.1%.
like literally 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, like skill wise, I'm one of the best players out there. But
Wow.
just like football and anything else, it's really whoever's the most obsessed, whoever pays the biggest price, the biggest sacrifice, puts the
Yeah.
most amount of time in, is going to
Yeah.
be that infinitesimally better that they're going to win the tournament. They're going to win the football game. And so you have to ask yourself as you get to that point, again, is that price worth it? And
Mm.
for me, I don't want to sit here for 10 hours a day, 6 days a week on my computer streaming. Like I want to hang out with Kendall. I want to go to the
Yeah.
beach or I want to
Yeah.
travel to Italy. It's like
Yeah.
I have a lot of things that I want to do, but bringing it back to I want to have a lot of little mini journeys.
Yeah. For
But
she's.
for she's uh, yeah, like I want to experience a lot, right? If life is full of flavor, like why would I want to just try one flavor forever? If
Yes.
it's great, like I love it.
Yes.
But like it's all these little things that I'm doing, So for me, it's like I've noticed I love a new challenge, a new journey, a new experience. I love becoming the best at it. I just became actually top ranked in the game Hearthstone. It took
Mm.
my friends actually playing the game a year and a half to hit legend. I did it in 30 days.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
it's
Okay.
kind of like a card game, kind of
Dang.
like chess, like Magic, or you ever heard of it? But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the thing is like I love taking something like a new skill, learning it, mastering it, but then I know I can do that. So it's like I could keep doing it again if I'm enjoying it. Key phrase there. If I'm enjoying it, I want to keep doing it. But if I'm not, or if I'm just like, oh, cool, now what?
Yeah.
Then I'm on to the next thing. And
Yeah.
there's no like guilt, shame, or anything in that. It's like, hey, I'm noticing within myself, and everyone's different, that I just love like having that new challenge, becoming like fucking amazing at
For
something.
sure.
And I'm not willing to sacrifice my entire life outside of that thing to be like infinitesimally better, you
Yeah.
know. So
Well, I think like you just said, there's a power in being able to be okay with trying out something and also finding out that it's not yours for you and then moving on
yes,
without like I'm
guilt,
quitting. I'm
shame,
like exactly, you know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
hey, this I
And
chose it because I chose it and then I don't choose it because I didn't choose it. You
And
know
I
what I
think as we
mean?
grow up, that's easier to do because we're around less peers without like a choice. With college, everyone's around you because you have classes and fraternity and parties. It's like you say you're going to do something, you don't do it, people are going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
And like in the real world, when it's just you and your friends or family that like you're choosing to hang out with, people are like judging you less because they're just not around you and you don't see that. Or I've noticed that in myself. Like I've definitely, because I felt guilty for a long time when I
Yeah.
left Verve, and I felt guilty for a long time when I
Yeah.
left Transamerica. Like I let people down,
Yeah.
right? But again, at the end of the day, it's like it's my journey and they've got
For
their journey,
sure.
and it's no like hard feelings. It's more just I think I wanted something different, or I learned that I wanted something different along the way.
Yeah.
and
And that's okay.
And so for me, man, yeah, dude, like this is for sure the happiest I've ever been, the most abundant I've ever been. Um,
Talk a little bit about the movie and how that came about.
yeah. So for the movie, I had a best friend
And
Heston.
talk to me why you didn't offer me a role or anything.
Well, I wasn't the director. I wasn't the director. So one of my best friends, Heston, has another guy, Cole Woods, who's the director of the film. And I literally went over to Cole's one night randomly to watch Game of Thrones with some friends, and he was talking about it, how they were like had this idea and they just needed some money, and I was like, wait, my best friend Heston is the lead actor. I could be down to chip in. And
Yeah.
originally it was just a couple grand, right? So that was the original premise. I talked to Cole. He, obviously was happy to accept my funds for the movie,
Yeah,
whatever they will be.
any actor director in LA is happy
But I
to
just got
accept.
passionate about the film, and so I made a few calls, and I was surprised at the feedback that I got as far as the people that were receptive for the film as well.
Yeah.
I raised some money and pulled it together, and I called Cole, and it was so funny. And I was like, "Hey man, how much more do we need?" Because it's like the last day, or not last day of the fundraising, but we had a certain amount we were waiting on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "Hey man, how much more do we need for the film?" He's like, 20,000. And I go, "We got it."
Oh my
And
gosh,
he's like, "What?"
yay.
I was like, "We got it." I was like, "We got the
Wow.
money." He's like, "Dude, no fucking way, get out of here."
Hot
So,
damn.
so yeah, so again, the reason I raised the money is because I really just believed in the people. And so,
Yeah.
like my analogy earlier, looking back on this time in my life, what would I be glad that I did, or what would I wish I would have done? Man, like Cole had a movie that he took to market, and he like broke even on. with a larger budget than ours. And I was like, my best friend's the actor. My other good friend is the side actor. Like I know everyone involved.
Yeah.
How cool is it going to be to just like bring all these people together?
Yeah.
And whether we make money or not, like I'm pretty confident we will. But it's more just again the product. Like we did something. We had an
Yeah.
experience. We had a journey.
Completely.
And next time you'll for sure be on the top list for a call.
Exactly.
But they
Thank
did have
you.
most of the real skill. But yeah, so I think we will produce more movies. Of course, we want to see how this one goes.
For sure.
It's been
We'll
about a
talk a
year.
little bit about what's it called, where they
It's
can
called yeah,
anybody see it. Is any festivals?
it's called Echoes of Violence. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost done. It's picture locked. I think are doing the coloring and visual effects right now. It's going to be in a few festivals for sure. We think South by Southwest
Oh,
because
okay. When it's back.
yeah, right. What's his fucking name? The voice of Yoda. Can't think of his name.
Oh, this is not my territory.
Okay, well, the voice of Yoda, he's a big guy. He's actually in our movie.
Oh,
He's got a lot
wow.
of pull, as you can imagine.
What?
The chest
Yeah.
pull.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He was also in the recent movie. It was the mystery movie. Man, I suck at this.
Oh,
It's edited, right?
this is edited. Yeah, but maybe because you said that, we won't edit it because then it's funny.
It is. Oh, Frank Oz. So Frank Oz,
Mm.
yeah, he's the guy in our movie, and he was also in that recent movie.
That recent movie.
Clearly, I'm not as involved. Let's see. Call him. Damn.
Well, this will definitely be edited now.
Well, anyways, he's in the movie. It's like a mystery movie recently that came out. It's pretty cool. So yeah. Well, I'm obviously very excited about it.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see what happens, and it's just again a very exciting experience for the friends. Just to bring
For
all together.
sure. I think that's really important. I've also said this on many different episodes, and I think you're a really cool example of that. How it's important to have have different types of people around you, but definitely types of people that are going to inspire you and motivate you and pull you forward, and not like really call you forth as human beings. Because I think it's really about connection that I'm seeing more and more through life. I think when I'm less even about me and more about like what value I can bring to like my comedy, to my shows, to whatever I'm doing, really, it just turns out to be that much more fun and enjoyable and fruitful and abundant, like you were talking about.
Yeah, 100%. And
For
like I
sure.
said, just taking a risk, and I really think again the belief and the energy put into the project is what made it special. I mean, we did it for thankfully a low budget, but we had some of the best talent, we had the best camera available.
But once again, not all of the best talent.
True. So yeah, man, that's kind of what I've the movie recently that I've been doing gaming a lot and just working on the solar
Yeah.
company, which has been fun.
How's quarantine been for you? Have you been impacted by this quarantine?
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone has, of course.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you're not door knocking, but I don't think you've been
Sure.
door knocking.
Thankfully, I haven't had a door knock again, just to do it for like income for probably about 7 to 8 months now, which again is such a blessing. I'm so grateful for that. I've just been getting referrals
Yeah.
from previous clients, the other guys that I have training and managing right now. They're bringing in business, and then solar is kind of like real estate where you don't need a lot of deals to do pretty well financially.
Yeah.
But really, I feel fulfilled doing it. It's like it's a win-win. Like we learned black.
Completely.
No one probably gets that reference though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If
it's
anything,
just like,
I think you even broke a commitment or something.
probably. Where does it show up in my life? On podcast, actually.
Anyways.
But yeah, so just that you help people save money, helping the planet. Obviously, I get paid to help people do that and just educate them on the process. It's really cool. And since it's it is an investment too, I get that numbers side of me that gets to come out and be the numbers whiz. So I've really created a great balance with it to where it's like a part of my day every day. I don't dislike doing it, and I love like closing deals and like, having another, in a weird way, like notch on the belt
Yeah.
in the sense of like, hey, another person I've helped, another impact I've made, another friend. I just got invited to someone's house for a barbecue that I door knocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
these are the people I
Yeah.
get to meet. And I met people that, I met
Oh,
one
legit.
guy who wrote the script to Doctor Strange
Oh
door
my
knocking.
goodness.
I met a
Yeah.
guy who worked in a NASA like wind tunnel and like built it
Yeah.
from door knocking. Like I'm just like the people that you get to meet and that I've
Yeah.
gotten to connect with from
I
doing this.
remember. Or I
Yeah.
know John might not remember this, but we were, because I door knocked with John as well.
Right.
John likes to recruit him, I guess.
Ever knock with John, you know what
Yeah,
it is.
shout out to it. Actually, I was actually really good at it. It was just something that didn't, I I just didn't want to do, like we were talking about. But
Right.
either way, we were door knocking, and this dog like comes chasing us, and it was like a Rottweiler, if I'm remembering correctly. If it wasn't a Rottweiler, it was one of those dogs where if it's running at you, you want to think twice, not like a Chihuahua or something. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
for sure.
And it was Michael Rappaport's dog, which is a comedian that I really, really enjoy. He was
I've
on,
heard of that name before. Yeah.
yeah, definitely
No
look
way.
him up. He's super, super funny.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people know him. He was one of Phoebe's boyfriends and the show Friends.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was so fun, and I got to talk to him about comedy and stuff like that. Not at the time, I wasn't doing comedy, but I was thinking about doing comedy, so that was a really cool moment, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
wild
yeah.
how people you meet.
Exactly. So what's next for you? Are you thinking about what's the next venture?
So I mean, I
Not
have been
notch on the belt.
right. I've been doing a lot of gaming during the quarantine, which has been a blast. I've been competing in a few Apex Legends tournaments. I'm actually doing another one this Saturday, which is fun. Um, but I really was, and that's the thing. It's like, what's next for me? Because I think a lot of people aspire. I think we have this addiction. I'm probably making a video on this. Like an addiction to growth, right? Which is a
Mm.
good thing.
Well,
But
some of
also,
us, but I think that we should. At
yeah.
least,
Well, I guess
not
that's
in it.
true. Well, I feel like each year, like let's say you have a stock, right, and it gets 10% this year and
Yeah.
10% next year. It's like look at Amazon for example. At what point
Oh my goodness, Amazon for
do
sure.
they call it to be like, all right, let's say we dominate the entire world, we still want to grow, like this is an
Yeah.
addiction to growth, but it's like you growing actually would then in a way hurt everybody else.
Yeah. That's kind of
So
true.
not to say that's like a self thing, but it's acknowledging this endless thirst for growth and like always wanting more and being grateful for what I have. And it's just a
Yeah.
balance, right? And grateful for the reality that I'm living in. Hey, maybe I don't need to be the wealthiest or sorry, the richest guy alive, like Jeff Bezos, but I might be happier in like my
Yeah.
reality.
How
So
could you
for
do both though?
exactly. So I'm still not saying that's not possible, but it's really like keeping the balance of like, hey, I'm really enjoying like almost every aspect of my life right now. I'm really like looking forward to things that I'm doing. I get to say no to the things I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I have this sick balance right now, like work life, relationship, everything, where I'm in control. And it's just again trying to grow in a way that's going to keep my happiness high in all the categories. And
Mm.
so for me, what's next? Right now, I'm just looking to again kind of be patient in the way that I don't need to work 80 hours a week like Elon Musk to grow my solar
Yeah.
company to be the best,
Yeah.
because I actually don't think that's like as important for me to get there right now as maybe somebody else does.
Mm.
And like, hey, I'm all for growing. I'm all for making a bigger impact. I want to do that. But again, at what cost of the rest of my life? So I'm cool being patient now, which was I was not patient for a long time, or I'm more patient, I guess you could say. But just like grow at a healthy rate with people that I'm working with, maybe recruiting more, but building in a way that again is how I want it to be.
Yeah.
And maybe I might not make the most money. Um, maybe I might not have the biggest organization, but I'm pretty fucking happy just like with my reality and operation that I have going on.
Completely.
And I think I would like to argue already I'm living in a very high level of abundance in
Yeah.
life. And I hope, pray, whatever you want to say, intention to be more abundant so I can in turn be more abundant toward others.
There you have it.
That was it. That was
There's
pretty
Taylor Krause's TED Talk, guys. Real
yeah,
recognize real. You said that earlier.
huh?
You said real recognizes real. You said that earlier, I think, right?
true. Wow, I don't think I did, but maybe I think you
Um,
said that, but I would agree for sure.
oh.
But no, yeah, I'm thinking about buying a place here relatively soon. I finally will have enough saved cash to do so.
Ooh,
Um,
sweet. In
yeah,
LA, that's a big deal.
yeah, dude, it's just really
That's a,
getting in.
so you really you want to settle down in LA then, huh?
Yeah, I think I just
I mean, real
like
estate
the
wise, it
movement.
would not be a bad decision anyways,
Right,
honestly.
for sure. I mean, I just since the movie business, I foresee that growing in the future, like my
Yeah.
status as a producer and like what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
To then solar's just such a great market in the valley, better than a lot of
Oh,
LA
for
itself.
sure, for sure, for sure. I
So,
can
and
totally
then
see that.
just being living right in the cusp of getting into LA, but it's peaceful around here, Sherman Oaks. It's not
Oh my
stupidly
goodness.
crazy. Yeah, man, I've really again, I'm just happy. So buying a
When are
place
we
here,
taking another dance class?
dude, as soon as this quarantine's over, man, like, cause
Yeah.
that's one of my challenges actually right now is to become good at like, or well, good to my level of good in dancing.
Yeah, I know.
Um, cause
Dancing is one of those things where it's like you're always I tell because I have different friends that I've gone to dance classes with. I've seen you dance, we've danced together. I feel like dance is one of those things that you talked about that's also through confidence.
yeah,
Because
completely.
there's many different dancing styles, and one dancer could do the same dance completely different. And what makes it so awesome is the way they did it, that swag, that confidence, that, you know what I mean? When
Yup.
you're second guessing yourself and you're doing it like discoordinated, it looks discoordinated. If you're doing it swaggy and whatever, it's like, okay, that guy's just going out
Right.
there and killing it, living
He's
his life,
confident.
having
Yeah.
his, having his moment.
Just like door to door, the confidence and communication and like talking with someone and influence and energy. And then dance is, I think, right in the same like spectrum of confidence in yourself, the way you move. I mean, I can't
Completely,
imagine anyone that's a good dancer not being confident when they're like walking around, you know,
completely.
or like in that way. I think it's just like a different area that's part of the reason why I'm doing it. Yeah, because I feel like if I can, well, when I become a good dancer or better
Yeah,
dancer,
you are a
um,
good dancer. That's what you need to say, B.
yeah, true, I am. I'm a good dancer, and I'm
Come out
becoming
here.
better every day.
Exactly.
It's true, yeah, the affirmations. But yeah, it like, and I think again, a lot of people are afraid of like the way they move, and that's why they don't dance. So
Yeah.
like the opposite of that is being confident in your
hmm
dancing. And how do you do that? By doing it.
hmm
Oh, duh.
I'm not a
So
professional, but I am a little swaggy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, dude, you're decent. And that's the thing is like you're getting after it. You're doing it, and by through doing it, refining, watching it in the mirror,
Yeah,
recordings, you're gonna get better. Like there's nothing you
completely.
can't unless you're like not even trying.
Yeah.
But
Well, and it's everybody's journey is different too. Cause I'll say this, like a lot of people always complimented me from when I started dancing and doing videos. And I
sure,
will tell you the very first class that I ever walked into, I was the most insecure probably in that class because I was learning how to learn choreography is a lot different than dancing in a club and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so through the years, I got better and better, but that was for me. And honestly, because we go to Millennium,
right,
and Millennium's a really popular dance class or dance studio where like professionals go. You know what I mean? And it took me a long time to be able to dance even there without judging myself compared to them, but comparing myself to be better. You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah,
You know,
for sure.
when I look in the mirror, not looking at how Susie Q's dancing, but look, okay, this is danced it last week, or this is how I learned it, whatever, and just be bettering myself. You know what I mean? And
Completely.
that's how I grew. Cause I'm just saying, I was super
Yeah,
uncomfortable too.
I hear you, man. I
And I'm
mean,
a boss bitch.
that's right. Bitch, I'm a boss. Uh,
Exactly. I'm like,
great
that's
song,
so
great song.
funny how that song is so catchy now.
It's a great song. I like it.
It's a great song.
I saw a TikTok on it, and I was like, "Damn!" Just like the way they did it, it was like really got me or just got me going. But yeah, so I mean, I couldn't agree with you more, man. It's just because like everyone's on their own journey, and like some people, like the Kardashians, for example, you just get born into this super wealthy, famous family, and then no surprise, that's for you. So if you get born into a family of dancers, you probably have an edge up on everyone dancing.
Yeah.
But it's like again with the and I think with today, it should be easier than ever with all the material that's out there. I mean, you know the thing about the whole Roger Bannister and the 4 Minute Mile, right?
No, I don't know about this.
Oh, so yeah, there's a success. audio I listened to when I was like pounding my brain with personal development when I started my entrepreneurial journey to try to develop that millionaire mindset, which by the way, I think I do actually have now, which is cool. But basically it said, for so long, years, right? Decades, hundreds of years, they thought it was humanly not possible to run a mile in under 4 minutes.
Oh
Lo and
wow.
behold, this guy, Roger Bannister, comes along and he breaks the 4 minute mark. He ran at
Oh
like
shit.
350. He ran at like 353,
Oh my
right?
goodness.
Since then, 10,000 people at the recording had broken
Yeah.
the four
Oh, I
minute
did know
mile.
about this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And
once
it's
you
like,
know that you can do it, like the body or
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's even a guy on YouTube that I think is really cool. He has his channel. He's like an average guy. He's not very attractive, but he just like takes on little challenges like, oh, I want to do 5 muscle ups, right?
Yeah.
Or like, I want to hold my breath for 4 minutes. And he just
Why'd
shows
you
you
have
from
to
the
say he
beginning.
wasn't attractive?
Because it's not like, so that way it's like he has an edge, or it's not like he's like doing it, or kind of someone that should have a disadvantage physically, or like
Oh,
he does have
got
a
you.
disadvantage physically as
Okay.
a guy.
Okay.
But through like you can see someone not good at something get good at it.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Oh, that's cool
with all
then.
that's out there, it's just, I think knowing it's possible.
For she's.
um and even when I ran the mile in under 6 minutes, just I'm like, oh my god, people can break 4. Dude, there's no
Yeah.
reason why I can't break 6.
Yeah, I was I think my best time in like high school was like 9 minutes.
Yeah, dude, 6 was harder than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. But
OMG.
and it took me. That was actually your name. Maybe I'll talk about right now.
Well,
So
we're gonna be wrapping it up as well though.
I'm not done. I've got more things
But
to say.
I did want to say this because I do believe there is a belief that like there's a saying that you have to, I'll believe it when I see it. And I definitely think there's a huge power in actually I'll see it when oh wait, let me get this straight. There's a saying that I'll believe it when I see it, and I think you have to really believe it to see it. You know what I mean? Like you
Totally.
can't wait to have the physical evidence. You just have to go for it and know it and believe it, and it'll show up.
Yeah. No. And I think you're totally right, because I even had that happen recently with the Hearthstone and the Apex Legends, and like believing I was at the next level or like rank before I got there.
Yeah.
And that was trippy for me. I feel like there's something I can say on that that's really important. Um, Maybe it'll come to me in a second here. But yeah, because that's really it. I mean, I think even for me, dude, like I think one of the biggest breakthroughs is when I won actually these headphones, and I because I've always been so good at Halo, right? It's been my game forever. Halo 2, Halo 1, Halo 3. I was like super great at it. My friends knew it. But when I went to this tournament for Halo 5 and I won, I got first place out of like 70 something people, right? And just that shock of like, holy shit, I'm the best of like 70 something people.
Yeah.
And that was just so crazy to me,
Yeah.
because it was like hard to believe. But then
Yeah.
what I can tell anyone watching is like, when you get there, I promise you it's going to feel probably like you do right now, in the
Yeah.
way that you're still going to like walk around your life. You're still going to eat a sandwich for lunch.
Oh my goodness, for sure.
You're just going to like it's not going to be that much different, in the sense that like you'll be so glad you did it for sure. And the
Yeah.
confidence that comes from that. But just, it's free to believe something. And at first it'll feel like a lie, right? Because you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not there yet.
Completely.
But you just have to know that, again, trusting the process of like doing it, refining,
Yeah.
continuing to do it, and like repeat and refining through watching video, really watching video,
Exactly.
watching tape, I think is the biggest thing. And
Exactly.
gaining perspective and putting more time into the craft. There's no way like you don't do it.
Yeah.
And unless you quit, or unless you forfeit that belief that it's not possible.
It's about
So
keep going for sure. I believe it's so funny that you say it, and it's so funny how it correlates to so many different people in so many different ways. Because for me, with comedy, like the first time I ever won my first like comedy festival, and when I remember doing this and being like, oh, I'm so different than everybody else because like the guys are super bro and like it's just like all like there's just I'm very different, and I also know that I'm also very funny, and I believe that no matter where I go I can stand out and I can be myself and I can not I don't want to say fit in, but I it's gonna work out. Like I'm confident enough to know that I'm not, and whoever doesn't receive it, like that's on them. You know what I mean? I can move through it.
yeah,
Anyways, when I won the festival, it was also one of those moments where it was like, oh fuck, like this is like my proof, even this is my stepping
Yeah.
stone, being
The,
like, oh
the
shit, like
belief builds. The belief builds
exactly,
for
it
sure.
builds. But if I wasn't already able to be like, I'm funny, I'm a diamond, I can stand out already, don't think I would have been able to win that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like
for
you
sure.
said, it does feel sometimes like a lie, or like you hear fake it till you make it. And at the same
Yeah.
time, I believe it's like, it's that affirmation of just believing like, I can do it. I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
I'm that person that can handle this. You know what I mean?
Completely. And I think fake it till you make it is like, in theory, makes sense, but the faking is where you can't believe that you're faking it.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
then you're faking it.
Exactly.
That's what you believe.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I think the last thing that maybe we can wrap up on is like the most important thing is that, again, you have to love it, or like we have to love doing it, because if, like, Steve Jobs has this great graduation speech that's been boasted around the internet a shit ton, right? And he's like, if you don't love it, like, you'd be crazy like to keep going.
Yeah.
But I heard that and I watched that and I never fucking understood it. But what it is, Gerard, is like, that's so important, because if you don't love it, you're not going to be willing to put the extra time needed
Completely.
to
Completely.
like do it, because you don't love it. And that's not
Completely.
wrong if you don't love it, but it's like, if you just go for what you love and
Yeah.
you detach
That's
from
so
the
much more
results in a way,
powerful.
and you're doing it for yourself because
Mm-hmm.
you enjoy it, the
Yeah.
results are probably going to come.
Exponential.
Like with the video, dude, I did it because, like, with the open relationship video, I made that because I wanted to share with people that I'm doing something different and it's
Yeah.
working better than I think.
What he's
It,
talking about, guys, is he made a YouTube video, and we were talking about this
right.
right before. And I'm actually going to have him and his girlfriend Kendall on to talk about it, because I'm very curious about open
Yeah.
relationships myself. But anyways, he made a video, he posted it on YouTube, and it's without any like posting it on Instagram and this and this. And go look at my video. It's had how many views?
Right about 23,000
There
right
you go.
now
Yeah.
in 4 months.
Yeah. And for you,
So
that was, you were saying, just putting it out there because you're like,
yeah,
hey,
my
this is
biggest video, I had like
story.
videos on YouTube with like 10 views, 20 views.
Yeah.
And then to post one that, again, I thought like maybe some people would watch,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
did it
Yeah.
with the intention of like, hey, I'm doing something different. I find it valuable, or I think it's valuable for people to see this, because even if
Yeah.
it only positively affects like one person
For
or 10
sure.
people,
Completely.
how that could change their life or change their
Hmm.
perspective and show them the belief like, hey, I'm running a mile in under 4 minutes in my
Yeah.
relationship. You
Yeah.
can as well. And
Yeah.
I didn't do it for the views. I didn't do it
Yeah.
for money. I did it because I thought it was valuable and because like I wanted to share it. And lo and
Yeah.
behold, the results are crazy. It's my best
Yeah.
video by a mile. Uh,
Oh, look at
so
that. No pun intended, I'm sure.
that's actually funny. No, it wasn't by a mile.
I'm always
By a
seeing
marathon,
company.
actually. Yeah, man. Well, dude, thanks so much for having me on here. It's been a
For
blast.
sure. For sure. Thank
Uh,
you. I like I said, I want to have you and Kendall on just to hear, because I've actually said in the past that I want to try being in an open relationship at some point.
yeah,
I got to get one person at least first, though. But real quick, do you have any last little quick plugs where they once again can see the movie, where they can find
sure.
anything about you if they're interested in solar or something like
Yeah.
that?
Well, maybe you can tag me in the video too, but just search for
Of
me, Taylor
course, yeah.
Crouse, on YouTube, and I'm Taylor Crouse1 on Instagram, and Crouse is Crouse. The movie is Echo of Violence. Check it out. Should hopefully be released in films and maybe on like Amazon, stuff like that, later this year.
Awesome.
Super excited about that.
And I'll be in the sequel, guys, so we'll
Yeah,
be
right? Echoes of
posted for
Violence
that.
2. Gerard Cole, he's the Echo. He's back. He was in the background of the first movie, but he's here. Star of the show.
Oh,
Yeah, man. Well, thanks so much for having me on. Super grateful. It's been a blast.
for sure.
And
Awesome.
just like with our intention with this video, I hope it really, even if only a few people, I think a lot will, but even if only a few find value in this and look back on this podcast as a, wow, that was just the thing I needed to hear. This is totally worth it. Well, it's worth it for us because we had a blast either way. So
Even true. I mean,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But as always, guys, please stay tuned and keep turning coals into diamond. Love you
Hey.
guys.